Okay, so this is the answer to number 8. A green leaf lubo plant, I made this plant up, so don't go look it up or Google it, is crossed with a lubo plant with yellow striped leaves. The cross produces 185 green leaf lubo plants. Summarize the genotypes and phenotypes of the offspring that would be produced by crossing 2 of the green leaf lubo plants obtained from the initial parent plants. So this one gets a little confusing because you're going to have to deduce some stuff. So right away we figure out that if you're crossing a green plant with a yellow plant in the initial cross, and it produces 185 green and not one yellow in the offspring, then you can start to figure out that green must be dominant. So right away we can go ahead and make our key. So it says that a green leaf lubo plant was crossed with a lubo plant with yellow striped leaves. So you know that the initial parent cross had at least, the green plant had at least one big G, and it was crossed with a yellow one, so that must have been little g, and it produced 185 green plants, and what we don't know is the second allele. So when we go to this parent right here, we think, okay, well, there could be 2 options here. In order to be green, they could be big G, or big G, little g. But since it tells us that all of this generation right here were all green, and that there wasn't one yellow in that offspring, you know that this cannot be little g. That's got to be wrong, because that cross would produce some little g's, and we didn't get any yellow. So that's got to be incorrect, and the answer must have to do with the parent instead being big G. So that must be our cross. So the question is asking, summarize the genotypes and phenotypes of the offspring that be produced by crossing 2 of these green leaf lubo plants that were obtained from the initial parent plants. So really they're asking, if you do this times this, what would you get? What would be the genotypes and the phenotypes? You should pretty much be able to do this kind of cross in your sleep at this point, because this is the same thing as our coin tossing model, same thing as Ocean and Lucy. So you're going to end up with 25% being big G, and you're going to end up with another quarter being little g, and you're going to end up with 50%, or half, being big G, little g. And then as far as the phenotypes go, you're going to end up with a quarter of your offspring being yellow. That's a Y for yellow. And you're going to end up with 3/4 of your offspring being green. So that's the final answer, is the genotypes and phenotypes of this cross right here.